Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, folks, let's pull up this screen. Heupel'S choices. We got two elite quarterbacks. As you know, one has committed to Kentucky, and that was Cutter Boley. And now we're looking at a George McIntyre I've spent quite a bit of time on, and then also Deuce Knight. A lot of people have been talking to me about Deuce Knight and telling me about him, and I told you I would cover this young man. He looks very talented. We're going to go through a little bit of his film and talk about these two choices that Heupel is going to be looking at and see who we wind up with in the 2025 quarterback sweepstakes. Now, the main guy I've been talking about the most is George McIntyre. He's out of Brentwood, Tennessee, and Brentwood Academy is a very good school, and he's very highly rated. He's the number 13 player in the country, number 2 quarterback, a 99 rating, 5-star, big-time 5-star. And we've looked at a lot of his film. We will look at it a little bit more tonight, but I really want to focus on Deuce Knight. Now, Deuce is somebody that's very high on the Vols, and he's very talented. We're going to talk about his skills and take a look at his film as well. And again, these are both sophomores. This is for 2025. But look, you know, recruiting for quarterbacks starts really early because they're so important. And what they usually like to do is commit early. That way they can start trying to pick out their team and helping the college recruit that they're going to go to. That's just very typical for quarterbacks. Nico did that. And Deuce Knight just visited and had a really good time in Knoxville, really likes the coaches. This is 4-star quarterback Deuce Knight. He's emerged as a top 2025 prospect. He's 6'4". He's very tall. He's about 180 pounds. And again, realize, you know, just a sophomore. He's the number 86 overall prospect, and he's anywhere from about 80 to about 150 or so. He's the number 1 quarterback and number 3 player in Mississippi. He's made his 3rd unofficial visit to Tennessee, and he really likes Coach Heupel and the guys there. And Joey Halsley said, some people talk a big game and say they can develop guys, but Coach Halsley and Coach Heupel really showed me what they do and how it paid off for them. He said, what stands out to me is how they are building relationships and getting to know you. I think ever since they offered me, I've talked to someone from the staff almost every week. Heupel's success with quarterbacks stands out with Knight during his recruitment. He said, that interests me a lot because you see Coach Heupel's offenses and how explosive they are. He said he's coached NFL guys who set records at their school and a Heisman winner. All that is very eye-opening. And he said, I would say they're at the top of my recruitment. Just the relationships I built with the staff are great. They can develop you. Their offense they run is fun. I know how I would fit in that playing style, etc. And here you see him on Twitter. And he had showed the pictures where he was there, and there's Coach Heupel, and obviously his family and all that, so they're pretty excited. So let's take a look at this young man's film. He's got some comparisons really to Hendon Hooker that I immediately saw as far as his running ability, and I'll show you that in the film. And we'll take a look at his arm and some of his highlights. And here we go. You can see he's actually left-handed, exactly like Heupel was, and he's obviously a natural athlete. That was just kind of a doing it on a wing and a prayer a little bit. There you go. Nice arm. As you can see, again, a lefty. But you're going to see some other things with this young man that make him stand out. Watch this. That is Hendon Hooker, if I ever saw it. Great runner of the ball. Really good instincts. He does not mind running. Obviously likes it a lot because he's good at it. Let's watch him throw. Now, see, I'm a little bit concerned right there. If you watch that, and again, remember, this is a sophomore in high school, okay? A sophomore in high school. And if you watch him right here, you'll see he jumps out of the way and he kind of, you know, his footwork, I've noticed that a few times. And again, the kid's just 15 years old. There he goes. You're not going to catch him. He's very, very elusive. He's got a real nice arm, good touch. And Heupel, he needs to be developed, but you can see he's got all the natural skills to play the position. Now he's freewheeling, and now he just keeps running. And you can do this in high school, although I tell you what, I saw Hendon Hooker do that kind of stuff against Florida and break their back with that sort of running. Let's watch him again here. Does a little fake. That was pretty nice. Very good touch. And that was good footwork there. See him again. Very nice. Good natural throw of the ball. being so tall, too, in high school. Now, remember, he's playing against juniors and seniors, so I'm not expecting him to just look like a world beater out here. But, again, you're not going to sack him too easily, and then he'll hurt you. If he gets away, he's going to hurt you. Let's watch him again. Again, very elusive. Then, boom, hits the guy for a touchdown. So you see all the skills are there. That's a young man that needs to be developed. But again, you know, he's still got 2 years left in high school. You know, his junior year, which is coming up, and then his senior year. So there's a lot to work with there. And he may go up the standings and wind up, you know, a very high 4-star or even better. You just never know what somebody's going to do their junior year and senior year. There's a lot of development that happens those 2 seasons. And now George McIntyre, if you've watched his videos, he's a little bit more developed, but he's not as elusive. And here we'll watch George, some of his highlights. Again, now he's a right-hander, and he's got that great touch with the long ball. The guy's arm is exceptional. He's just got a gift for throwing that football. And that's where I see him just being a little bit above where Deuce is as far as his throwing, as far as his footwork. He's just a little bit more developed. But again, Deuce gives you that great mobility that this young man has some. You know, he's got good solid mobility. He just doesn't have that freakish mobility that Deuce has. I feel like both of those guys could be outstanding in college. But George is just, you know, he's already a 5-star, and he's earned every bit of those stars. I can tell you that. You'll see him here, just perfect touch on that 40-yard bomb. That's not easy to do. I really like some of these plays around the end zone. This is for the game, which tells me he's got some clutch in him. That's an off-platform perfect pass. That's very hard to do. Here you'll see his elusiveness. Nope, you won't be getting me. Now I'm going to burn you with an See, that's that pass. That's why he's a 5-star. That pass right there is exceptional. Here he goes, being elusive. Then he burns you. Nice touch. Touchdown. Thank you very little. Here we go again. Man, he throws that ball so nice. Jeez. So again, nice choice to have. You know, you're sitting here trying to decide, you know, I think they're going to go all in on George McIntyre. He's a Tennessee guy. He's a 5-star. He looks great. But this Deuce Knight, man, you know, that would not be a bad second choice, that's for sure, because, you know, you just never know what a guy like that might do. He could be the next Hendon Hooker. So that's sort of what's going on. Now, granted, Cutter Boley was the guy that I really liked him. But with George sitting there, I think he kind of saw the handwriting on the wall. Plus, he went ahead and reclassified for 2024 and chose Kentucky, which made sense because they're a guy that they brought in that's a transfer from North Carolina State. He'll be out of eligibility, so they need somebody kind of immediately. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't know that a true freshman can come in the SEC and really do a whole lot unless they're just very, very special. But it will get him in the system and they can start developing him. Now, I had to talk to Cousin Earl. He's mad at me for not letting him be in on the Lane Kiffin stuff because he had a lot to say about him. But to make it up to him, I decided to let him in on this quarterback 2025 talk, and he wanted to discuss this choice of what Coach Heupel's looking at.
Well, hello, folks. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know which one I'd pick. I reckon that McIntyre kid, he looks like a pretty darn good slinger of that football. And that Deuce, now he's got a great name, and he can run like a wind. I don't know, I tell you what, old Heupel's got a tough choice there. I think he can probably be just fine either way you go. Now, last time I saw somebody sling a football that good, well, that was yours truly. Yeah, I played a little bit of quarterback, but they didn't want me in college. Something about when I took his test, it was called trying to remember, I think it's called the CAT. They said I had to score like an 18, and you know, I never did cotton to that book learning too good, so that's why I ain't no big-time quarterback. But if it wasn't for that, I would have made it for sure. So, good luck to you, Heupel. That's a tough pick now.
Yeah, old Cousin Earl, he's always talking about his football days back in high school. Now, I've talked to some of the members of my family, and they question how good he really was at football. But, look, you know, we're just going to let him believe what he wants to believe. Now, look, when it comes to these choices, Heupel's going to get some of the very best quarterbacks in the country looking at Tennessee, and right now he's got 2 of the best that are trying to decide for 2025. And we might as well get used to that because Heupel's a quarterback whisperer. And if I was in high school, I can 100% promise you I'd be looking hard at the Vols because as a quarterback, it is Shangri-La. You're going to have huge numbers, you're going to score lots of touchdowns, and you're going to look fantastic, and he's going to develop you because he's a former quarterback, national championship winner, runner-up Heisman, all that good stuff. And he knows how to handle pressure. So I can understand them wanting to be developed by Heupel. It makes perfect sense. He's got a huge leg up on about every other coach out there when it comes to quarterbacks. And that's going to bode well for him because it's by far the most important position on the field. If you've got that covered, you're going to be fine.
Logical.
And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover the Vols and all these good things that are going on with them. And the SEC, of course. And I guess we'll let Cousin Earl come on from time to time. And if you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just boom, that's all you got to do. Hit that little button. I would appreciate it. Cousin Earl would appreciate it. And right over here is my most recent video. And YouTube algorithm thinks you will love it. And we've got to do what the algorithm thinks. Or said, I don't know. I don't know algorithm. Anyway, we'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.